Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. I'm happy to see you guys here, whether it's in my live or in my replay. I'm so good today, guys, and I will be talking today about the movie The Descent. Whoa. I know usually my movie reviews are at 6 p.m. I will be changing that in my about page because I find that doing it at the end of the day, there's lots of other lives going on. People don't necessarily want to be on YouTube at that time of the day. So I'm going to switch it up to a different time. So that way as well, I don't also, by having it early in the morning, I can get my live done and move on to other things as well. So as I said, today we're talking about the movie The Descent. I saw some people really rant and rave about it. I do particularly like it. And then some people who said it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And why is everybody loving this movie? So there's different opinions about this movie. But hopefully, after I speak about it, you guys will like the movie as well. So I'm just going to set up because I should have done that before. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to set up a little poll, and hopefully, when you guys come in, uh, you guys will participate in that poll. So, quick little poll. So, hopefully, when you guys come in, you guys will participate in the poll as well. So, that is that. And we'll get into it with our movie review. So I'm just going to try to see, also change maybe the background. Is there something else? Yeah, I'll put this one instead as the background, a little bit more appropriate with our favorite person, Jason Voorhees, at the back, staring at us, coming after us. So, alrighty. So, obviously, I'm going to give you guys a quick little review of the movie. Hello, zombie prepper. Nice to see you here. Good morning. I loved your little live yesterday. I know it was a nice little quickie, as they say, but I'm glad to see that you're out there trying to get into this YouTube world. It's definitely difficult. It's not always as easy peasy lemon squeezy as we would like it to be, but I'm glad that you're out here trying to be one of us, one of us, one of us. But yeah, no, if ever you have questions about YouTube, hit me up. I'll definitely try to help you. I don't know everything about YouTube. I'm not the YouTube expert that I would like to be, but if there's something I can help you with, I definitely will do my best. And you're very welcome. Thank you for being here at part of my live. As I was saying, talking to myself because there was nobody there before, I usually do my movie reviews at 6 p.m., but I'm trying to do, change things up a little bit. I think I'm going to do them from now on at 10:30 in the morning, maybe a little bit later, maybe a little bit earlier, just because for me, I'd rather get it done at the beginning of my day, and then that way I have the rest of the day to do whatever else I need to be doing. And I also find that a lot of my audience, i.e., you guys, aren't necessarily there at 6 p.m. on a Saturday night. You guys have other things to do. You have other lives. You have your own personal lives to deal with. So hopefully this works, but we will see. So today's zombie will be reviewing the movie The Descent. I don't know if you've heard of that movie, if you're a movie goer, if you, yes, I'm Eastern time. So for me, it's 10:35 right now. Hello, Gail. How are you? The number one moderator in the world. In fact, I dare say, Gail, if there's moderators in other universes, you probably are the best one there as well. So thank you, both of you for being here with me at this time. I know it's a bit unusual for me to be live at 10:30 in the morning, but hopefully you guys like this better. Hopefully it works. And great, you saw the movie, so I won't go into terrible amounts of detail since you saw it. Gail, did you see the movie The Descent? Let me know, because I don't want to spoil. In fact, I'll go into my banner. Da, 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 da. So yeah, there'll be some spoilers, Gail, if you did not see the movie. Okay, it is technically a horror movie, but I'll try not to get into too much. And that's part of why I'm not going to give too much details as well, because it is a gory movie. You haven't seen it, okay? So spoiler alert, spoiler alert, Gail. So if you want to just support me and not spoil the movie for yourself, that's absolutely fine, Gail. And it is a horror movie as well, Gail. So if you're not into that, I honestly I don't mind if you just put me on another tab on a low volume and go to something else. That's absolutely fine, Gail. I don't mind. You're not a horror movie fan, you might not want to start with The Descent. That might not be the movie I would recommend for you to start with. Yeah, Zombie Prepper is right. It's a fairly intense uh, uh horror movie for me, and that's what I'm going to talk about as well. Is sort of why I thought it was a good movie and why. Yeah, definitely, Gail. Put it on mute for now. That's absolutely fine. I take no personal offense with that, Gail. But I appreciate you being here and at least trying to show some support with me, for me, I should say. Thank you very much, Gail. But yeah, I take no personal offense if you want to step away and maybe focus on somebody else's live this morning. It's absolutely fine, Gail. Have a great morning either way. And at least take a second to answer the poll before you go, and I'll start the review. And let's say at 10:38. So I'll talk for what 30 seconds, a minute, whatever, and then at 10:38, Gail, I'll start reviewing the movie. So if at 10:38 you want to skedaddle, that's absolutely fine. Of course, as I say that, a nice little. I'm gonna hide that comment. Oh, okay. Thank you, Gail, for taking care of those guys. Thank you very much, Gail. That's why you're the number one moderator. So I'm going to start, Gail, my movie review now. So if you want to put it on mute, absolutely fine. Have a great one, Gail, either way. Okay. And is it tonight, Gail, that you're going to do your live stream, or next week? I know it's the first and third Saturday, so I'm pretty sure it's tonight. Yeah, Zombie Prepper, that's why she is the number one moderator. And I when I grow up, I want to be Gail at night. All right, thank you, Gail. Thank you very much for still peeping at the chat. Thank you so much. Have a great one and great job. If I had $1 million the second I win the lottery, I'm going to be sending you a few of those Canadian dollaroos. All right, thank you, Gail. So, oh, next week, okay, good, good. I'll make sure to be there. All right, thank you, Gail. So here I'm going to start my movie review, Gail. So if you want to quote unquote close your ears and go to another live, that's absolutely fine. So, we're of course talking about the movie The Descent. Now, it came out in 2005, um, and it also was based on a book by. Let me go 1 second. I'm gonna go back. Where yes, it was written by Jeff Long. Okay, so it's based on uh, the same book by the same title. Okay, um, and it follows along a group of six female friends who like to basically do a lot of adventures together. They like, you see them at the beginning of the movie. They're going down a river and so forth. So these are six women that are adventurous, very brave women. Tend to do those kinds of activities that you don't necessarily expect a lot of women to be doing, but they're out there doing it, living their best life. But on the way home from one of their activities, one of the girls, her husband and child, end up in a car accident, which you actually do see. So that's why Gail, it's like don't start watching The Descent. They don't shy away from showing you the nitty gritty of the accident, and the husband and daughter pass away, unfortunately. Let me get my names correct because I know I've seen the movie. I know what the character looks like, but I'm blanking on her name. So it's Sarah. Okay, yeah, Sarah is the name of the girl whose husband and daughter pass away in the car accident. Now, it's kind of suspected at the beginning of the movie that Juno, one of the friends, is having an affair with the husband, who's Paul. Okay. And it does come out a little bit indirectly later on in the movie. So it is important to know that, hey, there's some funny business going on, and that not everything is on the up and up with Juno, and that also plays along with the movie later on. Hello, hello, before the billions. Hello, bonjour, comment ça va? J'espère que tout va bien, mon ami. I'm going to add a little bit more French for you before the billions, and let's see if you can figure this one out. Let's hope you can figure this out. On regarde le film The Descent. I'm going to repeat that before the billions, and I'm going to see if you're going to pick it up. I'm sure you're going to pick up what I'm dropping down here for you. On regarde le film The Descent. I gave you enough of a hint. I think that you'll figure it out. I know you're a smart guy. You're one of my many friends here that are big brain people. I like to know that all of my YouTube fans, my friends, are all big brain people. I don't hang around stupid people. And of course, we have Lash's Journey, another one of my big brain friends. Thank you, Lash's Journey, for being here and showing me my support. Oh, good God, my brain. I like to know that I'm the stupid one because, as you can see, I cannot speak. My brain does not allow me to do these lives, and yet when I'm talking to people, and I'm not usually not clumsy like this with my words. I swear I know how to speak English, people. I swear. But thank you, Lash's Journey, for being here and showing me your support. I know we had a late night last night with watching a couple people, particularly, of course, Mr. Real Estate, who, of course, explained to us what he gets into and how he started. Excuse me, how he started in the real estate. No, zombie prepper, you're definitely not in trouble. I know you're a big brain person too. If you're here with me, that clearly shows you have a tremendous amount of intelligence. I don't attract stupid people to my channel. I know only the smart ones uh, only come to my channel. I know it. So I know you're a smart guy in your own way. There's things that you could probably teach me that I would not know about. We all have our intelligence, right? So 6 a.m. Oh my God, before the billions. I don't know if I could wake up at 6. I did wake up well, for my standards. I woke up early. I woke up at 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So for me, that's early. But I also go to bed at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, trying to support all of you guys as well here. So, yeah. So, anyway, so I'll continue on with my summary of the movie, The Descent. So, yes, we're reviewing the movie. I'm not going to go into too much details with this movie because it is fairly gory. There's lots of blood and all that kind of stuff, and I do want to keep this channel as G-rated as possible. Although occasionally, I'm not bothered with having to make some of my content 18 plus every once in a while either. As you guys know, a couple of my videos are 18 plus because of the topic that was being discussed at the point. So, we of course at this point learned that Sarah, one of the characters, husband and daughter died in a very serious car accident after kayaking. I don't know if it's called kayaking down a river. I think there's a special term for it, but maybe one of you big brain people in the chat could tell me what it is. But that's when you go down the river in a kayak kind of thing, and it's the more dangerous one. So it's not the one where it's like the river is all nice and calm and all that, but it's the more dangerous one. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a special word for it, but my brain does not want to find it right now for me. So, anyways, so of course, Sarah is, needs time to recover. She just obviously was in a car accident where her family passes away, unfortunately. So then the movie cuts to a year later, where you see the group come back again uh, to do some spelunking. Okay, so for those of you, that word I do know. So spelunking is when you go deep, cave diving basically. So mountain climbing is basically the reverse, right? So spelunking and mountain climbing is the reverse of each other, right? Mountain climbing, you're going up into the open air and you're climbing up a mountain, while as spelunking, you're going into a hole and going as far deep as you possibly can manage. Okay, so and that's kind of what for me made this movie very scary, because that's one of my big fears, is being trapped in the middle of a hole and not being able to come out. And this movie does add another little element to it as well, which I'll talk about it in a moment. So yeah, so of course a year later they go in the Appalachian Mountains, okay, to do some spelunking. Now I say Appalachian Mountains, this is a British film, so technically they never left England, I believe. I'm going to go back up here because, as you guys know, I love me some Wikipedia. So the movies were filmed at, and I apologize to anybody from Scotland and Ireland and England if I butcher up these two names. It was filmed at Ashridge Park and Hertfordshire Park as well in Scotland as well. So I apologize to anybody that's in the United Kingdom and hears me say those two names. I know that the British name sometimes it's like my tongue is too Canadian to like properly pronounce them. And this film was premiered, even though it was created in 2005, it was premiered in 2006 at the Sundance Film Festival as well. And it released sometime later in the US as well. I did watch it a few months later because we do have a theater here in Montreal that's called the Dollar Cinema, okay, where movies originally were $1 each. So any movie you saw, there was $1. The snacks were $1. Everything is $1. So basically, for $5, you can watch a film, get popcorn, and get something to drink. Obviously, the price has gone up since then, obviously, but I think a small bag of popcorn, a drink, and the movie will still cost you between like $5 and $10. Now, whether because of COVID or not, that things have changed, who knows? But we'll have to see. I haven't been there in a while, unfortunately. So, getting back to our storyline here. So a year later, they all meet back up to go do some spelunking in the Appalachian Mountains, and you can still see that Sarah is still feeling the effects of the loss of her husband, both physically and emotionally. But of course, her friends, Juno, that I spoke about before, Beth, Sam, and Rebecca, okay? But they also invite a new friend with them, Holly, okay, to do this little adventure. So then, of course, you see them that they go to a cabin to spend the night there before they adventure the next day. Okay. So the next morning, you see them going up, get into their trucks to go to the hole that they're going to be using to get into the underground cave. All right. And you see at one point, Juno is the one who's responsible for the map. Okay. Because especially with spelunking, it's extremely important to know where you're going, since you don't have the sky to look up to and say, oh, that's that star. So we're, or there's a sun. Okay. That means that, sun goes from, a particular direction, obviously, as you guys know, right? So they have no visual, like, guide as to where they are and where they need to be going. So that's why it's important to have a map. But you see Juno not take the map. Okay. Um, then they go into the cave, they get their gear all going, right? They get themselves set up, they go into the cave and start their adventure. Almost right away they are sent in trouble because you see that there's a lot of animal carcasses, which is not normal, right? And you see a bloody handprint or finger, like in some of those movies you see like bloody fingers, like how it's like spread down a wall, right? I'm sure like you guys are sensing what I'm seeing, and like that's what you're seeing is like that bloody hand that just went down and made those like three lines of blood. So that's what you're seeing. And so they're like, oh wait, this is not not a good situation here that we're getting ourselves into here, right? So right off the gate they're sent in trouble, but they continue, like any good horror movie, they continue with their adventure, not taking the signs that, hey, maybe we should not be doing this, maybe this is not the cave to be going in today. But they continue anyways. You see them going along, and within a few minutes of being in the cave, well, I say a few minutes, but it could have been a half an hour in the storyline as well. You see Sarah get stuck in one of the little tunnels, and then a cave in starts. So, of course, one of the friends has to encourage her to get out so that they, can save her and get her out of there. And the cave, of course, that they use, that little entrance that they use, is now blocked off, right, because of the cave in. So now, of course, they have to find another way out. But since one of the friends, let me get her name, I believe it's Rebecca that was saying it. I believe I could get the character name wrong. It could have been a different one of them, but they said, oh, it's okay, don't worry. We studied the map. We know where we're going. We're in this particular cave system. So if we go over here, we'll be able to get ourselves out. That's when, of course, Juno tells everybody, I actually didn't bring you guys to that cave. We're at this other cave that's undiscovered, and nobody knows we're here. And I don't know where the exits are, so we're screwed. Pretty much, obviously I'm paraphrasing here, and of course everybody is pissed, especially since because of the cave-in, Sarah had to leave some of their gear and supplies behind, further making their situation much more difficult. So, of course, now they have to go straight. They're still trying to figure out different ways to get out. That's when they figured, okay, let's use the wind to help ourselves to get out, because obviously the wind has to come from somewhere. So that's when you see them take a lighter, light it up, see where it blows, and that will tell them, okay, the wind source is coming from over there. We need to go by over there, right? So it's a good idea technically, but you'll see that it's not really going to help them. Now, at one point, the girls are getting mad at each other. They're frustrated with this whole situation because it just seems to be going on and on and on. And, they're not getting themselves in any better situation. They have to cross a large gap, and with very little gear. So Juno offers, hey, I'll go across this gap. And that's when she sees these hooks that are from quite a few years back. So once everybody crosses the gap, they study those little hooks. And I know I'm not good in spelunking. I know there's those terms for those little hooks. That's when they had taken them to sort of save them for later on in case they need it. Okay. That's when they see that these hooks are from the 1800s, meaning that other people have been here. But you've guessed it, since nobody knows about this cave, nobody really knows that much. Where did the people go? So they keep adventuring, they keep going down. So they're frustrated, like they're now scared, they're now hungry since they don't have a whole lot to eat, right? And of course, they're lost. That's when the story gets a little bit more intense because as one of the characters are speaking and turns around, she sees a monster at the back and she's, wait a minute, what did I see? Oh my god, oh my god. She runs to her friends and says, I saw these monsters. Of course, nobody believes her. Oh, you're going crazy. That happens a lot. People go mad when they're stuck in a cave. It's just your imagination. How can there be monsters? How can there be anything living in here? Sure enough, you guessed it, sometime later, the monsters pop up and they realize these monsters are hunting us. you know, they're going after these girls, and unfortunately, a couple of them don't manage to live, unfortunately, and pass away in very gruesome ways, unfortunately. So, that's of course they realize as they're fighting these monsters that the monsters are technically blind and that they go by sound. Okay, so if you're loud, if you're making noises, they will find you. So of course, a couple of the girls they get separated, and some of them like, okay, look, Juno over here is screaming her head off, attracting the monsters, and the other girls that are in a different direction are like, no, no, be quiet. It's better she gets the attention from these monsters than we get the attention from these monsters. So of course, now that the girls are all separated, they're injured, etc. They all figure out, hey, we need to be quiet. We need to find a way out of this. Now the situation is so much more worse than what we thought. As they try to, in their adventures, some of them reunite. Hello, hello, in the life of Shasha. How are you? I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome to my movie review. Now, I'm not too sure if you're a fan of horror movies or not. Okay, I'm reviewing the movie The Descent, and it is a very gory movie. So if you're not big on that, I don't mind if you put my live stream on a second tab and put it on mute and just support me that way. I really don't mind. I don't take any personal offense to it. But if you don't mind the gory movies, if you love horror, welcome here. Okay. So I'm right now in the Life as Chacha. As you can see by my little ticker at the bottom, I'm obviously talking about the movie. So there will be some spoilers. All right. So if you haven't seen the movie and you love horror, there will be some spoilers. But I'm near the end of my summary of it. So the movie, let's continue. Now it's the girls are separated. Some of them reunite with each other. Some of them don't. Some of them don't survive. Some of them are injured, etc. Right, and that's when Sarah discovers, in the heat of the moment, that Juno had an affair with her husband. Right, and since she didn't tell the girls, hey, we're not going to that cave, we're really going to this other cave, Sarah essentially leaves her for dead. Oh, the betrayal, you know. Um, and of course, uh, thank you. Yeah, and I get it. I tend to thank you, Life of Chacha. I tend to talk a lot in my book reviews and my my movie reviews. I talk a lot about sci-fi movies and horror movies and books. Okay, that's what I enjoy. But I don't mind in the Life of Chacha if ever you want to suggest something that's a little bit different, I'll at least consider it. Okay, if I see that it's interesting enough, I will speak about it. Okay. Hello, good morning, Trash Can Waves. Glad that you're watching me with your big old googly eyes. I'm talking about the movie The Descent, the original 2005 version, the British one. Okay, and I do know that there's a difference between the American and British version. Okay. So Sarah has now left Juno for dead, essentially, and it's every woman for herself type of policy for all of the girls. Now, they continue, all the ones that have survived, they continue trying to find a way out of these caves and not attract the attention of the monsters that are chasing them. And they're running around basically like chickens with their heads cut off, right? Trying to find their way out, trying to survive, trying not to get themselves into trouble, but trying to, if they can, help each other out as well. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the girls out of the six, unfortunately, five of them pass away. The only one to survive is Sarah herself. Near the end of the movie, yeah, I definitely liked the movie Trash Can Waves. It was a great movie, at least as far as I'm concerned. I know that Zombie Prepper also watched the movie, so we can definitely talk about it as well. So at the end of the movie, and that's where it's important to note that there is a difference between the British version and the American version. At the end of the British version, you see Sarah finding a way out, uh, getting herself out of there. Oops, sorry guys, have a call. Sorry, I apologize. Sorry guys. Hello, Blake, Money Corp, and Uncle Stu. I'm sorry, I'm just on a phone call. I'll be right back with you guys.